Okay, this is a bit disjointed. I had to come back because I didn't realize you could exit the electric part anytime you wanted with the ZL button. So those are the purple coins. Now here's the actual thing.
So fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
I love the way.
I mean, they're kind of an amalgamation of both the blue and purple coins from Galaxy and Sunshine, respectively. If you think about it.
Yeah.
You know what? They actually remind me the most of the notes from Banjo-Kazooie, basically.
A little bit.
Yeah, which is fine because I think this game does the notes way better than the original Banjo-Kazooie did. Because, oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate.
What was wrong with the?
Okay.
What was wrong with the notes?
Okay, well,
Now, if
here's
I
the thing
remember
about
correctly-
the original Banjo-Kazooie. Like, on the N64 version, if you die, you had to collect every note again, which is obnoxious. And they fixed that in the XBLA port, but it's the original Banjo-Kazooie I don't think has aged well, and I still firmly hold that Tui is a... Okay,
I missed it. I have to come back for it.
Yeah.
Camera.
Yeah, I still hold that Tui is a way better game, but we'll get to that whenever we get to... you should have died. You should have died.
Should have, but didn't.
You have a surprising degree of freedom to jump correct in this game once you've mastered all the different ways Mario can jump. It's really exhilarating to just barely get yourself out of trouble, even though dying isn't really that big of a penalty.
Would you guys say or agree best controlled Mario game?
Probably.
For the 3D games?
with the exception of
For
with the-
3D specifically. Yes.
with the exception of the slightly awkward extra hat throw moves, which are tied to motion controls.
Which, it's saying something, because I don't think any of the games control badly, is the thing. Like, even
No.
Super Mario 64 is certainly aged in terms of control, and I'm not a huge fan of Sunshine, but it's certainly, all of the games are responsive and feel pretty good to control.
Yeah, I would say 64 is the only one that really feels antiquated in any sense.
and platformers, whether 2D or 3D, sort of live and die by how well you can, by how enjoyable the simple act of movement and jumping control is. Like, for example, the Jak and Daxter games, they have, a really fun flow to the way they move, and then you get to Jak and Daxter 4.
There was a fourth
And-
Jak and Daxter?
Well,
Yeah,
not technically called
sort
4,
of-ish.
but...
It's not called 4, but...
Was that the
it's
PSP one?
Yeah, the PSP/PS2 one.
okay.
The controls are not good.
Okay, it's almost
They
like
are
you're
not.
trying to control a 3D platformer without camera
Yeah,
stick.
to give you an idea of what it feels like going from Jak 3 to the new one, it's somewhat akin to playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles and then going to Sonic 4.
Oof.
Yeah, doesn't feel right. At all.
To put it mildly, I suppose.
Okay, so here's one thing about this game that I really love is that at any time you can warp to any point, which makes the traversal not an issue, because some of these worlds are pretty big, but it's like, okay, you can warp at any time, so it's not an issue.
Especially for more vertically inclined levels.
It's so odd, though, that, games like SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom did it like a decade prior.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, too. That was always the reason why I never got why people said Banjo-Tooie was too big, because you can warp, like, every major location in that game. So, okay, you guys just are wasting your time.
I think part of it is that at around that time there was an oversaturation of the genre, and people were getting a little fatigued.
Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, like, now we don't have
But is
any...
that Tui's fault, though?
Nah.
It's not Tui's fault,
well,
but
Tui also compared to something like this.
Well,
does
it's certainly older,
unfortunately
for sure.
It's older, but Tui also does have something we brought up, but does have a lot of empty space in it.
It's certainly not as dense as this game, for sure. But I don't mind that, but I'm also a nostalgia blinded fanboy, so nothing I can say will be taken
I
seriously.
mean, we all
anyway.
are for different things.
There's considering a game on its own merits. There's considering a game in the context of when it came out. There's different ways to look at it. I think Banjo-Tooie hasn't aged well in that respect, but at the same time, I can't call it a design problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, you can turn it
the other two first.
You can turn it into a washing machine, which makes it the best game of all time by default. So there we go.
The washing machine is only useful though if you have like a character dialogue that says "I'll clean your clock" or something like that. It has to have a pun of some kind.
Oh, that dude!
it's
It's
the
a,
only-
it's
it's
a
the only-
freaking
it's the-
banjo game. Of course, there's puns. Obviously.
I know.
Okay, so
So-
Tostarena. So back on topic, which I know is shocking for our BrainScratch discussion. Tostarena was at first like one of my least favorite kingdoms, but every time I go back to it, I appreciate it more and more. Like I still wouldn't say it's
Also,
my favorite, but-
Miyamoto held off on his base urges. The desert level's now the 3rd level.
Yeah, and it's also the ice level too at the same time. So wow.
Ooh.
Ooh. We thought freeze flame.
Well, we also still
was
get a dedicated ice level.
revolutionary.
No,
anyway,
get the bird, get the bird. No, get the bird. Tracking that thing down is gonna
Yeah,
be
if you-
a pain in
if
the
you
ass.
miss
Actually,
this bird here-
nope. You'll see what happens with the bird later for me.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if you miss this bird around here, you're either chasing it down throughout the entire map, or wherever its pathway is, or you're just
Or
waiting
you're just
here.
gonna wait here for it like I did.
It's like a 5-minute
Yeah.
loop around the entire level is the thing. So yeah. Oh, come on, Ryan.
Nope.
Get the
It
bird.
went by- Nope. Ice. I'll get it later.
Okay, did anybody else, upon looking at like the sand texture here in this game, think of Journey?
Yes.
I've never played it.
Not
so
me, but
no.
I've never played it. Yeah, so I'm in the same camp as Ted.
I'm pretty sure Journey's conceptual name was "Goddamn, this sand is beautiful."
Oh, so
And for
it's
some-
I
We made a
hate
really-
I
we made a
hate
really
Hayden
nice wind
Christensen
thing.
then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
it is a nice sand texture, yes. Which brings me to something that I actually do really want to talk about in this game. They did a marvelous job, and part of this is just because of the simplicity of the art style. They did a marvelous job of making a large open game that looks fucking gorgeous.
This is a
but
portable
also
video
is-
game. Like damn.
But is also really small on file size.
Oh yeah, because you can have this on your Switch and not eat up your entire fucking data bank. What?
Yeah.
It's not a cartridge that requires an additional download.
Yeah. They hit a really good sweet spot on data use as far as texture quality and reuse of assets without being super fucking obvious about it. Like there's always gonna be the same cactus, but who cares? Cactuses look identical. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they were good at optimizing that part.
And then you look at Fire Emblem Warriors file size and wonder what the hell
Yeah.
happened.
There is only one technical problem I have with this game, and it's the fact that because it's on the Switch, rather than something that was spec'd out to be a dedicated console, there are certain concessions made in performance to make sure that it can run on less than amazing hardware.
Well, it runs at
So-
60 most of the time.
It
Most
doesn't run
of the
60, I
time.
think it's 30, isn't it?
No, most of the
30
time
and
it's
handle.
60.
No, it's 60. It's
Oh,
60.
okay. Well, yeah, that's not the concession that I'm talking about. It's most obvious in New Donk City because of the
Oh
pedestrians.
yeah, the
Oh yeah, have you
Oh.
seen the camera glitch with Talkatoo in New Donk?
There's,
With Talkatoo, you can get the camera stuck with him, and have Mario run to like the binoculars that shoot up into the sky. It does the same thing as it does way back in Mario 64. Everything far away gets lower and lower poly and resolution. The people are straight out of the N64, out of an N64.
Yeah, well, it's not even just lower poly, lower frame rate too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
Will,
that's why-
they will walk at a crisp 12 frames per second before you get
Yeah,
close to them.
that's why I brought it up, because New Donk City is where you can see it most clearly because of the pedestrians. The draw distance is pretty limited, and when you're looking at the pedestrians in the distance, they are moving at a much slower frame rate.
To be fair,
Like
every
the-
game does stuff like that, though.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
game does stuff like that. Most games, however, are better at disguising it. Like one of the most common modern concessions to performance that I know of, and Final Fantasy XIV is the game that made me aware of it, because you can turn it on and off as a performance option. But not rendering stuff that's off screen.
Okay, guys,
It's
are
like-
you ready for that HD Rumble experience?
I don't buy the HD Rumble. I thought it was pretty cool.
The problem with challenges like this is that you kind of have to turn the Rumble on in order to do it, and I usually keep it off because I fucking hate Rumble. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Don't you?
Well, Rumble doesn't like you.
You see, here's the thing, though. They're actually releasing a Senran Kagura massage game for Switch that uses the HD rumble.
Really?
Of course
And then
they
people
are.
wonder why I make fun of Senran Kagura, and there's just like, hey, it's like
Well, partially it's because you're not pronouncing it right technically, but whatever.
it doesn't
think,
deserve
you
to be
know,
pronounced right. All right.
The only thing I don't like about Senran Kagura is that it gets all of its fucking games released over here, and we had to bend over backwards to get Yakuza some recognition.
Yeah, because that's
So-
because Yakuza isn't 80% boobs. Lewis, come on, it's obvious. Oh man, look at these
Like-
racist skeleton people.
Like I don't
Not-
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Senran Kagura. It's like, okay, you want your silly fan service game, you can have it. It's not my thing.
You want your
but,
anime
like,
titty?
I'm
Your
not
anime
gonna
titty.
judge. Like, I understand the appeal. I like boobs too, but I don't want to spend $60 on it. And I'm pretty sure.
I just don't know why people spend $60 to watch boobs when there's hentai on the internet for free where you can see nipples. It's like, God.
Well, usually it's because the quality of the content is supposedly better, but that's not going to be true of Senran Kagura. Let's be real here.
I only like that A+ anime titty.
So,
I'm a gourmet anime titty. I don't stick to what you plebes
I'm a
do.
connoisseur.
Here,
Yes.
you plebes use.
This titty raw.
Anyway, to stop talking about anime.
well, before,
Hey, you
before we get
brought it up, Ted.
Sorry.
Before we get off that topic, I'm going to give it a serious answer. It's like every other industry. If you don't pay for it, eventually it dies off. But
That's a
The-
good point.
so yeah, back to Mario.
So anyway, these ruins areas are part of what makes this level, I think, work. Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
sand. Well, the Jaxies help too, because those guys are fun to ride. But this is a really, really good open-ended platforming section, I think, is the thing.
This is a really, really good open-ended / linear platforming section. Like, there's a route that's prescribed for you to take, but then when you come back to explore for additional moons, you realize that you can hop around on this shit sandbox style if you're good enough and know what you're doing. So it's
Yeah.
really, really good level design, and
This is also like this is where the game also starts beginning to reward you for getting above and beyond to locations that seem so out of reach, but if you persevere and do it, they give you coins.
They give you
I
coins,
think-
they give you moons, they give you fucking,
Yeah.
they give you fucking lightsabers. No, that's not in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you feel like you could find something that crazy, even though you know it's probably just
There is
irrelevant.
something everywhere, and because coins matter this time, it's more fulfilling.
From what I've read in developer interviews, basically what they did was when people were playtesting and people got to somewhere they didn't expect for them to go, they put
put
coins
coins
there,
there.
and other games would try to block you off from getting to those kinds of places, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what makes it, oh my god, you're moving
Yeah.
so slowly, shake that controller right.
And
Oh.
it plays into the same kind of design strength that Breath of the Wild has, in a different form, obviously, but it's the same kind of design strength that Breath of the Wild has, in that you can get really, really creative in how you approach any given situation, and it feels awesome when you do. The game makes you feel awesome when you do. In this case, it's because you find a bunch of stuff, and in any other case, it's because, hey, you found a way to take down these enemies or get this goal done without spending as much time or without using as much resources, you know? It's that kind of thing.
It is so jarring seeing him in a desert and he's freezing.
Well, you can see you can see the snow and frost falling if you look close enough.
I associate deserts with heat.
Desert is just a dry environment, John. Gosh, learn your basic geology.
Well, well, you say that, but deserts at night are extremely cold.
Yeah, but it's daytime.
the Antarctica
Why
is
would-
technically a desert because it's dry and not
It lacks
ice.
vegetation.
Yeah. Gosh, man, you guys didn't watch Bill Nye the Science Guy? Man, jeez. SMH.
Smell my head to all of you.
Smell my head.
Smell my head. Yeah, it's really redundant.
So, yeah, it's so weird watching someone's first experience playing this kind of game because
Because you're pulling your hair out.
well, no, not even just that. Like, I mean, granted, yes, that is part of the experience, you know, when you already know stuff. But it's, you know, it's the sense of discovery. It's weird, like, you only get to play a game for the first time once. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, playing Mario well, playing Mario Galaxy, I suppose.
Well,
would
Galaxy
really,
as well.
Yeah, but
yes.
playing Mario Odyssey the second time is unfortunately, unless if you're going for a different kind of playthrough where you're going for speed or just to show off or whatever, is not going to it's unfortunately not going to be as fun because you know all that stuff already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can mitigate
That's
to
partially
a
why I
point.
did it. That's partially why I did it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can mitigate that to a point by leaving the game sit for a while, letting the memories fade, and sort of halfway discovering things a second time, which is what I usually
Because everybody
do.
forgets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all
well,
forget.
Yeah, well, you're always going to remember part of it. You're going to think, there's something around here. I just know it. But you're not necessarily going to go through the motions when you're playing it. You're still going to be able to have some of that original sense of discovery. It's not going to be the same, but it does present some long-term replay value. So in a way, if that's the main draw for you, you can sabotage yourself by playing the game too often.
Yeah, but that's, I think, why I think speedrunning Mario Odyssey has become so popular, because the way that you can move in this game to get stuff, I'd say unintended in quotation marks, because I'm sure that the developers found a good chunk of the speedrun tricks that people have used.
The developers are always aware of some of the speedrun tricks
Yeah.
ahead of time.
Like, even
because
in-
they obviously had to go through it.
Even some of the glitches, like, developers are aware that they ship a game with glitches because you have to. Basically, there's not enough time to fix it.
You can't fix it all.
You can't fix it all. And then people on GDQ will say your game's badly programmed. So, that's just life. Oh, yeah, see, like here, Ryan just skipped, like, half of the platforming section that he needs to get
Yeah,
up
'cause I went
to.
the other way.
The method used to get over there probably took longer.
Yeah, but I got
because he still hasn't discovered the dive.
Yeah,
the dive.
but I still
yet.
got the purple coins there. So
Dude, the jump, dive, throw, dive combo. Once
Yeah.
you figure that out, I said this a little bit earlier, but you feel so cool once you get good at that. Like, you can skip everything.
It's kind of like playing the Infamous games, actually, where you find ways to very smoothly and very acrobatically, in a way, vault across rooftops, without breaking flow. It feels amazing. It's the same kind of rush in a different kind of form,
Yeah, the thing that it's that kind of that I can connect most to is like playing through a Sonic Adventure 2 level once you get good at it, and then you don't make any mistakes and it's just like, yeah, A rank. Only
Yeah,
in this
somewhat.
case, like, there's no rank, so it's slightly different. And also, there's no option to reset once you make one mistake, because damn it, the run needs to be perfect. That's what I said, perfect.
I see what you're getting at, but it is a different kind of rush in the sense that the Sonic Adventure 2 levels, most of what you're doing in them is...
yeah, you're expected to do stuff in that way.
Yeah, it's prescribed, visually prescribed to you by the level design, and you have to recognize what you're supposed to do and where from what you see in the level.
Yes.
Whereas in this one, in this case, it's you thinking outside the box with the tools in your arsenal. So...
Do you not do, like, cosplaying Mario, Ryan?
I show other costumes at some point.
Wow, you made it! You made it out before the bullet bill hit you. That was good.
Yeah, so now you have to go through the whole thing backwards.
That was productive.
Yeah, but see, like in scenarios like this, I mean, you can take the intended pathway, take the stairs or anything like that,
or you can triple jump your way up top.
You might even be able to do
Yeah.
it with a backflip, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
backflip wall jump. With a triple axle.
Yeah,
Step 20.
screw your platforms. I can fly.
Oh, man, I forgot how much I loved this game's soundtrack, though. The Tostarena theme is so good. All the music's really good, though. I think they did release a CD.
In Japan.
In Japan? Okay, well, then I'll have to import it then. Damn Japan, and they're
Can we
getting...
say I hate when you do. Why we live in a world where everything is digitized and available internationally.
Yeah,
Soundtrack
dude, they've
should
been
not be
doing this
accepted.
since the Wii days, all right? Like,
I know, and it was sucked then too.
yeah, I
So
wanted
tell
that
me to
freaking,
stop
I wanted
doing
that freaking Galaxy Gold orchestral soundtrack from Club Nintendo, but no, I could get a tote bag. Oh man, and I was lucky back in the day to get a tote bag, because nowadays, like, you're lucky if you get a 30% discount on Yoshi's Woolly World 3DS. Oh man, how lucky are you to be? Although I like what they're doing
might
now,
have-
where gold points are just straight up eShop money. Now that's really the way that you should do it.
Yeah, that's probably the best if they're not gonna give us actual rewards. The the swag bucks route. In any case,
Does not take itchy and scratchy dollars.
But they also let you spend gold points on like premium themes for your 3DS,
Ooh,
the
fancy
handheld console that's on its way out.
Don't worry. 3 years from now, they'll let us spend points on premium themes for the Switch too, and it will take 3 years because Nintendo is really, really slow.
It'll take 3 years for them to implement the theme feature for the Switch.
Yes,